when you talk about the generations of Hong Kong writers, I just think Hong Kong has such a short history of literature. I mean, it's only start, like, you can trace from the 20s, the earliest. So I don't think of Hong Kong has a long history of writing. And I don't even think of the changes so huge. For me, Hong Kong is always somewhere not at the center. I think Hong Kong writing is often and always experimental because Hong Kong is not the cultural center. People often think it's a cultural desert. So people are free to do whatever they think. It's very, very different. Mainland China and Taiwan has a long tradition of finding their own national identity. They're very linked to their land, motherland, and about history. So they pay less attention to the space and the transformation. They always want to tell a story that is, we would say, like a historical story. But in Hong Kong, we don't have this tradition. And we don't have something called, I don't know how you translate into English, like motherland literature, 鄉土文學. So it's a big trend in mainland China and Taiwan, but we don't have that tradition in Hong Kong at all. I do feel some differences. As I say, I feel the Hong Kong writers is experimental. I can see that in a way how we write fictions. As I see in the US, they have workshops, teaches people to become a writer. So I see that in those workshops, it's often when they teach people how to write fiction, they teach it in a way that is quite traditional. I mean, it's not bad or good, but it's to my surprise that I never taught creative writing like that. Like they will have plot, characters, how you develop characters. That's something for me like very technical. Of course, it's very useful, very important. But in Hong Kong, I would see that when people think about creative writing, often they would think more about how to break through the forms. So to me, it's one of the big differences I see there when I talk to other writers and also people who study in the workshops there. As a reader, I would think that it's very important to see writings from different countries. And as an author, I think author is someone like a reader too, because you respond to what you read. So I think not just my book or books in Hong Kong, I think translation is a very important word, important work throughout the world. When we talk about world literature, when we talk about understanding each other, I think translation is the first step